Hello, doing a contest response to Shaun McRoberts' 50 subs contest. Shaun, congratulations on the 50 subs. Shaun is someone that I've had a lot of correspondence with in the VC. We've sort of been coming up sort of at the same time in the VC as far as like roughly the same amount of subs and have a lot of similar tastes in a lot of things. So he's somebody that we've definitely been vibing with quite a bit, and it's a great guy. Shows a lot of awesome stuff. So really excited that he got those 50 subs. They're very well deserved, and really cool contest idea. The contest idea is transitional albums. So basically, Shaun's asking us to talk about an album that once we heard it, our lives were sort of never the same. And I thought about that. I sort of did a similar response to another contest talking about the Strokes album "Is This It?" So I didn't want to do that twice. It wasn't the same contest idea, but that's an album that the minute I heard it, my life changed. But I have something else sort of similar to where it wasn't necessarily how that the album I heard it changed my life, but the album set in motion events that did change my life. So I think that's still sort of fitting with the contest. So I'll get to it. The album that I would choose as my transitional album is 2009's Dirty Projector's Bit of Orca. This album is playing in the background right now. I'm not sure what album this is in the Dirty Projector discography. I know they had several previous to this. I think it's their best album. But why is this a transitional album for me? Well, in the year 2009, I was just moved back home from Nashville and graduated school and didn't have a plan at all. I was living with my parents, and I had a degree in political science, which is basically useless. You can't really do anything with it. And I went to school, worked hard, got a degree, couldn't really do anything with it. I was applying for jobs. I think applied for like 100 jobs and couldn't find anything, and was this close to taking a job as a dishwasher. And there's nothing wrong with being a dishwasher. It's just I hadn't really went to school for 4 years to do that, but I was just getting so desperate. And I had pretty much given up all hope of living a creative life at that point. I thought that I had previously played music, but I thought that it's time to get a job, it's time to grow up, and it just wasn't happening. This is New Belgium 1554 for anybody that cares. But I had not been in a band. A dream of mine had always been to be in a band and release an album that I was very proud of artistically. I'd been in many bands for 15 years and never really released something that I was really proud of. And that was a dream I always had. That was something I always wanted to do. That was on my bucket list. Have something that you're proud of. One full-length album. But I had pretty much given all that up because I had come home and it was time to get a job. But one night, when I was going through all this hardship in my life, I'd been listening to this album. It came out, I graduated in August, it came out in July of that year, 2009. And I listened to it nonstop. I was blown away by it, still blown away by its creativity, just the sounds, the songs, so creative. It's a perfect 10 album for me, it really is. And I had been listening to it, and one night on the whim, I thought, maybe I saw all my equipment sitting there from being in a band. I thought, I'm just going to give this one more shot. So I posted an ad on Craigslist, and looking to join a band or start a band, and I was trying to think of influences. I said Dirty Projectors, and because it's probably playing in the background. And a few days went by, and I got an email from a guy, and he was like, really like your ad, we should meet up, all this, and for whatever reason, I just didn't respond to it. Or I responded, I was like, yeah, that'd be cool, and nothing ever really went anywhere, and I just kept living this sort of desperate life. And one night at like 2:30 in the morning, the guy called again. He said, "Hey Chad, do you still want to start a band with me?" which I thought was kind of weird that like he was calling at 2:30 in the morning. I hadn't talked to him in like 2 weeks. It's like, who is this guy? But I was a little bit intrigued that he was so kind of eclectic. And we did end up forming a band. And I remember he was like, I like the Dirty Projectors too. We should form a band. And that's kind of, it was a transition in my life where I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and I'd given up on being creative. And this album sort of brought me and that dude together. And we ended up being in a band for 3 years. We released 2 full-length albums that I'm just insanely proud of. They fulfilled my dream, it really did, as far as completely fulfilling me artistically. It's something I'm so proud of doing. We played, I think, over 80 shows. Sort of got to live my dream. I thought it was too late. I thought that I had gotten too old, and not that age has anything to do with it, but it was just sort of the world bearing down on me. Grow up, do this, and just bored one night, went on a whim and mentioned this album, brought me together with this guy that was really my musical soulmate, and the band ended up breaking up early in 2013, or excuse me, early 2012, just because people were moving and things like that. But everyone's still on good terms, and I had the time of my life. I really did. It was one of the greatest times of my life, and if it hadn't been for this album and that transition I was going through, thinking everything was over creatively, may not have happened. So I know that's a little off base, but I hope it still makes sense. This is an album that I listened to a lot when I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and it ended up taking me to a wonderful place. So anyway, in sum, Shaun, congratulations again. I thought your story was about the Neil Young album was absolutely beautiful. Even though it was sad, but the idea of an album taking you back to something you were before, I thought that was very beautiful, and I wish you luck on your journey. Congratulations again on the 50 subs, and I hope everyone supports this contest.